Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Some of us still dealing with showers tonight, but we've got multiple shots waiting in the wings. Is one of those chances coming on Easter Sunday?
All right, Ben, also the French president making a bold promise as the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral lies in ruins.
His fate is in the hands of the jury. Deliberations underway in the murder trial of ex-state trooper Mark Bessner, and there was a big surprise right before the jury got the case.
But we're going to begin at 5 with a Detroit teacher placed on leave amid accusations of improper conduct with students.
And that tops the news here at 5. That teacher on leave as the district investigates.
Involves a teacher at Bagley K-8 on the city's west side. Priya Mann is live at the school with more. Priya.
Well, Devin, it was a concerned grandmother who brought the allegations to light. She has 2 grandsons who attend Bagley in the 3rd and 7th grade. And after she came forward, the district pulled that teacher from this school.
I guess it do kind of look bad on his behalf, but...
A Bagley teacher was not at school today after troubling allegations of misconduct. A grandparent of 2 boys who attend Bagley went to officials with her concerns Monday afternoon. She alleges a teacher has been having inappropriate contact with students outside of school.
And hearing something like that is just like, I mean, I don't even want my son to come back for the rest of the semester, I mean, to be honest, you know.
In a statement, the district says it was made aware of allegations of misconduct involving an employee at Bagley K-8 late Monday afternoon. The employee was immediately placed on administrative leave, and the matter is currently under investigation.
Leads to maybe some suspicion that it's true, whatever the allegations are. And you're uncomfortable with having those kind of people around your kids.
Parents picking up their kids on Detroit's west side were troubled by the allegations.
Yeah, that's concerning. I mean, the teachers are supposed to watch our kids, you know. They're supposed to protect our kids, and they're supposed to make us feel good about our kids being here.
And tonight, the district won't comment on how long the teacher has worked here at Bagley. They will also not comment on whether that teacher has been placed on paid or unpaid leave. We'll continue to follow this developing story. Reporting live from the city's west side, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Sure will. All right, Priya.
Developing right now, the fate of former state trooper Mark Bessner is now in the hands of the jury. Deliberations underway after a surprise twist today inside the courtroom.
The defense rested their case without Bessner testifying in his own defense, and that is a major change from the first trial.
Larry Spruill following the eventful day in court. And Larry, the jury was just sent home a short time ago, I understand.
Good evening, Devin and Karen. The jury left around 4 o'clock this afternoon, but there were a lot of twists and turns inside the courtroom this morning. It started with the legal matter. A trooper told the judge that he wanted to plead the fifth and not testify this morning, and the judge allowed that.
Guilty or not guilty? That is the question. And Tuesday, the jury was instructed to decide a final answer. Is former Michigan State Police Trooper Mark Bessner guilty of second-degree murder? Tuesday, the jury is still deliberating. Bessner is charged with murdering the death of 15-year-old Damon Grimes on August 26. Police say Bessner hit Grimes with a taser during a high-speed chase while he was riding an ATV. Grimes crashed and died. Prosecution attorney said Bessner did not have to use the taser.
This taser was deadly force. Is it reasonable to use a taser against somebody, to use deadly force against somebody in that circumstance?
Meanwhile, Bessner's attorney told the court he used the taser only for self-defense. He was scared for his life.
It's critical that you put that aside and you analyze the facts in this case. Why would he deploy a taser before he stopped? Because he thought his life was in imminent danger.
But the prosecution team did not agree.
No yells, no screams, no gasps, no grunts. Nothing you would expect from somebody faced with death.
And the jury talked about the case for almost 3 hours this afternoon, but once again, the hands of Bessner still lies in jury. We're live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
And that jury will be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so Karen, the jury will come back tomorrow morning, and then around lunchtime, the judge will check back in with the jury to see if a decision has been made or where the progress lies. So we're hoping to see if there is a decision made tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Larry.
Let's turn our attention now to the weather. From the looks of things, you would think that the rain is moving out.
But don't let it fool you.
Yep.
There's more rain lined up on the way. And Ben, you said it was going to be a rocky week.
And just like a receiving line at a wedding, just everybody coming in multiple waves. And we will be seeing plenty of chances of rain, unfortunately, as we get into the holiday weekend. But look at what we've got going on this afternoon. There's a huge difference in temperatures here between 40 up in Sanilac County and numbers down here in our south zone, 67 in Adrian. We did see a 69 down in Lambertville earlier. So that's almost a 30-degree spread between north and south. And not surprisingly, it's because of where the clouds and the rain have been set up. Most of this stuff has been north of 69. There's a little bit of a ribbon of showers that's gotten a little further south into Oakland and Macomb counties. But so far, that rain staying away from the city. So if you are headed down to the Tigers game tonight, it's a different start time, a little bit early at 6:40. And it looks like things are going to remain dry, even if those showers persist. They should stay north of Comerica. Temperatures around 61 when they get started at first pitch and falling into the 50s. So kind of a seasonable finish from those clouds and showers around tonight. We will talk more about what's coming for the holiday weekend and exactly how many chances of rain we're expecting in just a few minutes. Guys?
Former MSU President Lou Anna Simon back in court for another hearing today.
Simon is charged with lying to police about when she knew of complaints against Larry Nassar. The judge is supposed to decide if Simon will go to trial. These hearings were supposed to wrap up last week, but are still going. Today's Simon's former co-workers testified about the inner workings of the university when it came to allegations of abuse like those in the Nassar case.
The president would be aware that we had Title IX investigations, but the detail of those were not typically disclosed to the president.
Right now, things have just finished in the courtroom. The judge has not come to a decision just yet. They'll be back in the courtroom June 11th to finish hearings and learn the judge's decision.
New charges tonight in the death of a Detroit baby last December. Today, a judge ruled Michael W. Brown is competent to stand trial in the case. He's charged with 2 counts of second-degree child abuse and 1 count of criminal sexual conduct involving that child's mother. You may recall the child was brought to Sinai Grace Hospital by his father, but was later pronounced dead.
A barricaded gunman situation involving children ends peacefully after an hours-long standoff. It happened on Hayden Street between McNichols and Grove Street this morning. Police got a call from a child inside that house saying a man was beating up their mom. When police got to that house and asked to come inside, a man threatened to shoot them. They were able to safely get a woman and 4 children safely out of that home before arresting the suspect.
Let's look in live now at Paris, where it's shortly after 11 p.m. A vigil underway right now as Notre Dame Cathedral in ruins after yesterday's devastating fire. But we are learning not all has been lost. Some hopeful signs. A short time ago, the French President Macron said he wants to see the iconic structure rebuilt within 5 years. And that statement follows an astonishing showing of financial support, along with word that precious relics were saved in the fire. Richard Engel has more from Paris.
The main concern here in Paris right now is for the structural integrity of Notre Dame Cathedral. The fire has been put out, but after the spire came crashing into the cathedral, after that shockwave that it sent, after the roof burned off, the structure of the church has been challenged. It is not as stable without the roof. It is more wobbly, and officials here have said that they are worried about weaknesses. They are worried about cracks, in particular in the north corner of the transept, and that is where workers today are using a crane to saw off one of the massive statues from that most weakened area. They want to remove it for the safety of the statue so it doesn't come crashing to the ground, and also for the safety of the people. There have been evacuations in that area, fearing that there could be some kind of collapse. 5 residential buildings all around that wing of Notre Dame have been evacuated. So right now there is an effort underway to stabilize this cathedral after the fire was put out. Richard Engel, NBC News, Paris.
And now to the moment before the fire at the Notre Dame Cathedral that has now gone viral.
And it was a Michigan woman who captured it. Brooke Windsor from Fenton snapped this photo in the hour before the historical cathedral caught on fire. She shared the photo on Twitter in hopes of finding the man and girl in the picture. It's been shared more than 130,000 times. Windsor tweeted she wished she'd asked the man if he had wanted that picture. She added to Twitter, "If you have any magic, help him find this." Oh.
That's been one of the things about being on social media here for the last 24 hours. There are millions and millions of pictures taken every year around the cathedral, and it's just such a touchstone for so many people. And that community really came together yesterday around it all.
And so many people who have made that visit, it's been a romantic trip or a trip with family.
Right.
It has meant so much, and then what happened obviously affects everyone.
So hard to watch. Yep. Officials at one of our state's most coveted landmarks, speaking of landmarks, say they are outraged.
New here at 5, how this discovery right here is prompting an urgent call to anyone planning a trip to Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Also, this isn't just another new apartment complex in Detroit. Who this building was specifically built for, it's helping to fill a growing need in the city. Rod.
It has been a long-standing, expensive problem in the city of Detroit.
I hope we don't find ourselves here again.
But now City Council believes it has swept out the problem. We'll tell you how.